Hey guys, it's Van, and today I'm going to be showing you guys that it is possible to do Hystria with full Narchillan. If you guys find the video helpful, or if you learned something new or just found it entertaining, feel free to drop a like, a sub, or even share it with your friends. It definitely helps me out, and if you have any ideas or suggestions on what you want to see me do, definitely drop a comment down below. I even have my live streams over on twitch.tv/Vanthros. The links will be in the description. So with full Narchillan and yellow accessories a try, you get to about 240 AP, which is enough for Hystria at least on the entry level. To give you an idea about how budget friendly my gear is, my crystals in my gear only cost about 4.2 million silver. 2 Harpias for the helmet, power for the weapon, critical hit for the offhand, patience for the chest, strength and melee attack on the gloves, and lastly 2 swiftness on the boots. Now of course, I can definitely use better crystals on my gear to make it even easier to do. But I wanted to show you guys that it is 100% possible and profitable even on a budget setup like this. Just a quick disclaimer though, I am by no means a good player. In all honesty, I think I am a very bad player, but I still want to show you guys the possibilities that low geared players can achieve. So on to the main question, why Hystria at low gear? It's too hard, you take too much damage, it's too intense, which is exactly correct. It's definitely harder than all the other spots with full Narchillan, such as Pilaku, Polys, Cagtums, even Manchums, which I also have a low AP guide for. For me at least, one big thing that I see players who either just came back or just started playing the game is that their lacking experience has to help to play their class. Most often than not, if you're still at a lower AP bracket, that most probably means you're either new to the game or new to your class. Having more difficult enemies makes you put in more effort, which can help you learn your class a lot better. Rather than just one-shotting a pack and moving to the next, you actually barely learn anything about your class like that. The second big thing with challenging yourself in these tougher spots is the silver per hour. Hystria has one of the highest silver per hour rates that I've seen possible in lower AP brackets, the other being Manchums and Aakmans. But what makes Hystria better, at least in my opinion, is the price of these scrolls written in ancient language and the possibility of a Tungred necklace drop, which is about 110 million silver in Southeast Asia and about 90 million silver in North America. Along with that, the shards of ancient power, the black one and the red one, which you need both to make a Tungred earring. So with this, along with the big drops such as crystals that drop from Hystria, give a huge bonus to your silver per hour rates. And what makes Hystria even better than Manchums and Aakmans in my opinion is the fact that when you do become overweight or run out of potions, because let's face it, you'll probably be spamming potions at this gear bracket anyway, which I do highly recommend rolling at least a tier 3 fairy with Miraculous Cheer. You can easily refill your potions, empty out your bags, and even repair your gear, which ultimately means you can stay there for as long as you'd like and just grind out more and more silver. To give you an idea, I did 2 hours of Hystria for this test. The average number of scrolls that I got for each was about 10, and the average silver that I earned from the trash loot alone, and not counting the drops, was about 45 million to about 55 million silver, which is the same with Aakman. If we sell all the scrolls straight up to the central market, in the Southeast Asian region, it's about 3.3 million silver per scroll, and about 2.1 million silver in North America. We get to roughly 70 to 85 million silver per hour, so Hystria has a chance to double if not triple your hourly silver rate on these drops. Now for the actual spot, when you first get into Hystria, you'll get spawned into a random spot. You'll want to make your way to what I want to call the center of the ruins. I use this as a way to give myself bearings to work with because ultimately, we want to be as close to the all-in-one NPC as possible. So you make your way to the NPC using the center of the ruins we just talked about. From there, take a right on the southeastern part of the room, then head straight down the pathway to the left. From there, follow the path on the left and you'll be able to find yourself another bearing, which is the water underneath and the big drop that you can actually die to. With this method, you can give yourself an idea as to where you are within the ruins. Keep heading down the pathway, walking straight through, and you'll be able to find an uphill slope, and at the top, you'll have a safe room with the all-in-one NPC. This is basically the starting point of the rotation. I like to use this rotation mainly because it's super close to the all-in-one NPC, and no one actually really farms in this spot. So the difference to Aakmans and Manchums, Hystria requires you to pull the mobs together to get a more efficient grind. On a quick side note, the terms you'll want to be familiar with for Hystria and even Star's End is pulling and leashing. Leashing or leash is basically when the mob is at its maximum range of combat, after which they run back to their spawn locations, become invulnerable, and restore to full HP. And you also have a maximum amount of mobs you can pull at a single given time. So you'll want to kill every single mob in the pack, otherwise they might ruin the next pull. Pulling mobs is very common in a lot of other MMORPGs. It's basically grouping up the mobs together in a more favorable position to maximize your damage. Doing this will essentially increase the amount of mobs you kill and get you more silver in the end. This is a very important side note though. Do not overpull mobs you can't handle. Having the cron meals and elixirs and droughts will also be a huge help to your damage and survivability. Now for the actual spot, the common setup which a lot of players suggest is about having 261 AP with Cut'em, and what I found to be the best spot for lower AP, and you'll see why in a second, is this one. The big thing you have to watch out for in Hystria are the 2-car Boltons and the Itons. They have insanely high physical damage and even have a ranged attack that can nearly one-shot you with your gear. What you can do is pull them into the main group and focus them down. So the rotation starts right outside the safe room. You'll want to pull the mobs close to the 2-car Bolton on the left hand side and burst them down. From there, you can decide where your actual start is. I like to ignore that pack unless I'm coming from the safe room or going towards the safe room. From there, you pull the 4 2-car Burmals on the platform and then head out to the Hystria watchtower and kill the mobs there. You can pull these because they don't hurt as much, and just be careful not to pull the 2 Itons up ahead. We'll be saving those for the next pull. The next pull will be on your right, pulling the Vodkin, Iton, and Burmals towards the Iton, focusing him down. After which, you pull the pack on the left with a couple of mobs along with the Bolton. The next pull is going to be the biggest pack of this rotation. You'll want to start on the Bolton on your right because when you start off the pull, you want him to be in the middle of the area that you're pulling. That way, the other mobs don't leash and run back to their spawn locations while you're focusing the Bolton down. The last pull of the rotation is on the left side from here, and this is the most dangerous pull of the entire rotation, mainly because you're pulling a Bolton and an Iton, and they're absolutely miles apart. What I normally do is I focus one of them down on the left or the right, and then kill the other afterwards. If you're over clearing the packs, you can even pull the next pack just a bit further of the last pack that you pulled. I highly advise you not to pull this pack if you're new to Hystria, as this is a triple Bolton or Iton pack, and they can easily burst you down if you get CC'd or if you're still learning how to pull. By the time you finish that last pack, the previous pack will have already respawned and you'll be on your way. So just clear the same group of mobs and you're done with the rotation. If all that seems interesting to you, I highly recommend you try it out for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to know what your gear setups were when you started grinding Hystria and what you found difficult with it. Hit me up in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and follow me over on socials to stay updated. You can also hit that bell icon to get notified whenever I post new videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!